With the addition of new dinosaurs in the Isle Evrima, together with the Elder's mechanic and a lot of other changes, it's time to review the speed for all the dinosaurs that we currently have. In this sense, the following tests were performed on the Oasis free admin server for each dinosaur, including normal running speed together with Carno's charging speed, Rex's ambushing speed, Galley's speed with and without diets, and also F-Call's speed boost, Maya's bipedal and quadrupedal stance speed, swim speed both on top of the water and below for dinosaurs that can, like Dino, Herrera, BP, and also BP's jumping in and out of the water speed, Pteranodon's flying speed, trot speed together with the diet's trot speed like in Galley's case. Before we start though, please note that when future patches will be released, the dinosaurs' locomotion, mechanics and mutation speeds can be subject to change. Starting with the Omni Raptor, we see that at 100% growth, it reaches 35.1 km per hour as a frail elder and 43.2 km per hour as a primeelder. Interestingly enough though, a primeelder Omni is actually faster than a primeelder Dilo. The Omni's swim speed is somewhat decent but nothing spectacular, being positioned somewhere in the middle of the roster. As far as trot goes, Omni does a fairly good job, reaching 18.4 and 20.5 km per hour respectively. Moving on to the Carnotaurus, we have the fastest dinosaur on land at 100% growth if no additional mechanics are involved, reaching up to 45 km per hour as a primeelder. And he goes even faster than that when he charges, reaching 54 km per hour as a primeelder. Now that's fast. As you probably already knew though, Carno is very slow in the water, reaching merely 11.9 km per hour as a primeelder. But it makes up for it with a trot speed, reaching 18 km per hour at both frail and primeelder status. Ceratosaurus is not that fast on land, reaching up to 36 km per hour as a primeelder. But its speed in the water increases big time, being one of the fastest swimmers around, both as frail and primeelder. It also does a very good job when trotting, reaching a respectable 19.8 km per hour. Continuing with one of the newest additions in the Isle Evrima, the Allosaurus is fairly speedy on land as a frail elder compared to other frail elders, but not that fast as a primeelder. Its swimming speed is mediocre at best, reaching only 14.5 km per hour as a primeelder. And when trotting, the Allo is on par with the Carnotaurus at 18 km per hour. Dilophosaurus is known for its very good speed on land, being the second fastest frail elder and fourth fastest as a primeelder. On the other hand, while swimming, he loses all that speed and clocks in at just 16.2 km per hour. Also, its trotting speed is extremely good, being the third trotter both as a frail and primeelder. The Herrerasaurus is quite slow as a frail elder, but makes up for it a bit as a primeelder, reaching 37.7 km per hour. A big surprise here is the Herrera's swimming speed, being the second slowest of them all as a primeelder. You probably wouldn't expect this from a semi-aquatic. And as far as trot goes, Herrera is in the lower part of the roster, reaching 13.5 km per hour as a primeelder. Next, we have the surprisingly speedy Troodon, who reaches 41.4 km per hour as a primeelder, and funny enough, it's faster even than a Maya. Troodon does a very good job in the water as well, being on par with the Ceratosaurus at 19 km per hour. And if you didn't guess it already, he performs in the same manner when trotting, reaching 20.7 km per hour as a primeelder. As you would expect, Dinosuchus is the slowest of them all on land, reaching a speed of 21.4 km per hour. But in the water, he is in a league of his own, reaching a whopping 40.3 km per hour as a primeelder. His swimming speed can be further increased by 15% with the hydrodynamic mutation, and if entombing twice, it can go all the way up to 50.4 km per hour as a primeelder, which is pretty amazing. Funny enough though, his trot speed is actually faster than Ptera's as a frail elder and faster than a trike as primeelder. The Pteranodon does a very poor job when running, clocking in at 27 km per hour as a primeelder, but it's to be expected since he does not belong on the ground. He totally makes up for it in the air though, reaching around 85 km per hour in a straight line. Regarding the swimming speed, it's not that great, but it's still faster than a bunch of other dinosaurs. And as far as trot goes, Ptera is the slowest trotter of them all. Next on the line, the mighty Tyrannosaurus Rex delights us with his sheer size and presence, but we can see that his running speed has seen better days, reaching only 27.9 km per hour as a primeelder. If the T-Rex uses his ambush speed though, he can reach 33.5 km per hour as a primeelder, which is not that bad for such a heavy dinosaur. His speed also improves in the water, swimming at 15.3 km per hour as a frail elder and 18 km per hour as a primeelder. And considering his size, it's no wonder he reaches only 13.8 km per hour when trotting. The Diabloceratops seems to be a very balanced dinosaur overall, reaching a running speed of 32.4 km per hour as a primeelder. His swimming speed is balanced, being somewhere in the middle of the roster for both frail and primeelder, and his trot speed is yet again balanced, reaching 14.9 km per hour. Dryosaurus is on the nimble side when it comes to running, and it reaches 39.6 km per hour as a primeelder. When swimming though, Dryo doesn't perform that good, especially as a frail elder when even a frail elder Pteranodon is faster. Dryo's trot speed is balanced and positioned after the dibble, reaching 17 km per hour. The Hypsi might be small and cute, but it reaches a decent running speed of 37.8 km per hour as a primeelder. But when you put it in the water, things could have been better and it only reaches a speed of 13.7 km per hour. And as you would expect from those small feet, Hypsi is on the lower part of the roster when trotting. Next we have the Pachycephalosaurus, who has quite a big gap in speed from frail to prime, reaching 30.6 km per hour as frail and 39.6 km per hour as prime. You probably noticed it already when playing it, but welcome to the slowest swimmer of them all, both as frail and as primeelder. His trot speed is also not that good, reaching 13.5 km per hour as a primeelder. Stegosaurus may be on the slower side overall, reaching 25.2 km per hour as a primeelder, but at least he's running faster than the Triceratops. In the water, nothing changes and he's still very slow, swimming his way to 12.4 km per hour as a primeelder. And the same goes for the trotting speed, where the stag reaches 10.4 km per hour. Carnotaurus is a very balanced dinosaur when coming to the running speed, both as frail and primeelder. But things drastically change for the better while swimming, because he is the second fastest after Dino and reaches 20.2 km per hour as a primeelder. He is also the second fastest while trotting, clocking in at 21.6 km per hour. Built like a tank combined with a bulldozer, the Triceratops is indeed on the very slow end of the roster, but it's to be expected with all that armor. While swimming, he is faster than the Stegosaurus though, with a speed of 12.6 km per hour as a primeelder. And regarding the trot speed, he merely reaches 8.2 km per hour both as frail and prime, which makes him the second slowest trotter of them all. The Maiasaura is quite fast as a frail elder, clocking in at 34.2 km per hour, but loses a bit of speed compared to others as a primeelder, where it reaches 39.6 km per hour. Its quadrupedal speed is slower than his bipedal speed, but that is to be expected. In the water, it does a decent enough job, reaching 16.8 km per hour. And you probably wouldn't expect this, but a frail elder Maya is extremely slow at 11.7 km per hour compared to its primeelder speed of 18 km per hour. BP is placed on the low end of the roster when running, but it doesn't necessarily thrive on land. It performs way better in the water, where it can reach 18.9 km per hour as a primeelder while swimming on the surface, but as a frail elder there are quite a lot of other dinos that can catch it if it's not being careful. On the other hand, if it's swimming under the water or with the jump mechanic, then it suddenly becomes the second fastest swimmer in no time, after the Dinosuchus of course. And just like with the running speed, the trot speed is also on the low end, reaching 13 km per hour. And last but not least, we have the Gallimimus, who surprisingly enough is not the fastest around if it has 0 diets. With even 1 diet available, the things change and it shoots all the way close to the top, reaching 44.3 km per hour as a primeelder. And the more diets you add, the higher the speed increases and you can get all the way up to 50 km per hour with 3 diets as a primeelder. Diets also impact the F-call speed boost that Galley has, and with it, a speed of 64.5 km per hour can be achieved as a primeelder. It has a very good swimming speed as a frail elder, but it is definitely slower as a primeelder when comparing it to other primeelders. Now regarding the trot speed, Galley has the highest trot speed of all the dinosaurs, both as a frail elder and as a prime one, reaching up to 30.6 km per hour. And it gets even better than this because diets impact the trot speed as well. And in the end, you can have a trot speed of 34.2 km per hour with 3 diets. As a conclusion and comparison between all the dinosaurs, we can see the basic speed values for each one of them at 100% growth without any special mechanics or abilities involved. For the frail elder's running speed, Carno is clearly taking the first place, but if we were to consider the previously mentioned special mechanics, then Galley's F-call speed boost would dethrone Carno's charging speed. For the primeelder's running speed, Carno is still on top, but if considering the special mechanics, then Galley would take its place again as fastest around. For the frail elder's swim speed, there is no doubt that the Dinosuchus is and will remain miles ahead everyone else, regardless of special abilities or mechanics. And the same thing goes for the primeelder's swim speed as well. Dino is number 1 here. As far as frail elder's trot speed goes, Galley takes the crown even without needing diets. And the exact same thing applies for the primeelder's trot speed as well, where Galley is still on top, but this time by a bigger margin. Now with the speed values being covered, I wish each and every one of you a happy new year, and let's have a better year than this one. All the best, and thank you for being here.